You might think that there are no trails out there that are better run on a rainy and cold day, but I beg to differ.
Is it tough being a dog? Up here in this warm tent with a diesel heater, running like crazy all night to keep us warm. Crazy little dog. I think the plan today is to hit a couple of trails, and then we'll have to decide whether we want to camp out tonight or whether we're just going to head home tonight. We're only a couple hours from home. Yesterday was beautiful. It was sunny almost all day. I think it was sunny all day, actually. It was cold. It felt pretty cold during the day, but the sun just helped immensely to make it a better experience. Today you might be able to hear the rain already. It means it should be over 32 degrees out there, though it was freezing rain when I got up at 5 this morning. Now it's not freezing rain, it sounds like actual rain, but it's raining harder and harder. But it's supposed to be kind of gray and ugly, and well, we'll see if we can find some trails worth sharing with everybody today. And then probably head home because Monday is supposed to be extraordinarily cold. I think it's supposed to be down to like 4 degrees overnight. And this little guy here, he doesn't do real well with the cold. This fella, he's loving the diesel heater. He does not do well with the cold.
Now, if I'm honest with myself, I don't really love the cold either, especially when it's cold and rainy. But regardless of the cold or the weather, Bill is typically up very early, ready to make us both breakfast.
I see you have friends this morning.
Both dogs are usually pretty excited about breakfast too, but they both assume that you've got a plate full of meat, and unless I've remembered to get the turkey or chicken sausage, I usually just don't.
Why do you guys both think I have like meat or something up here? No, down. Down. He's like, what?
The state of Ohio is well known for its rain showers, and after living here the majority of my life, you'd think I'd finally be used to them. When I think about it, however, I'm not sure I've ever met somebody who prefers the rain over the sunshine. Well, as you can tell, things can kind of change quickly. This doesn't even feel like the same month, same season. So we've got the ice still on the lake, but it's raining. It's actually 30 degrees, so it's just kind of borderline as to ice versus snow versus rain. It's not a very beautiful day to be out, whereas yesterday was picture perfect but cold. But take advantage of the good days you have, because you turn around and be like this tomorrow. You just never know. The area around Burr Oak State Park in Ohio has a handful of gravel and dirt roads, some even marked on Onyx as tracks. This rainy morning, we started by exploring the Wildcat Hollow area. Wildcat Hollow is actually a 17.2-mile backpacking route, so we really didn't know what to expect of the roads here. The Wildcat Track is 3.8 miles of easy dirt and gravel road through the Wayne National Forest. The day we drove it, there was a nice little section of trail that was completely underwater. Nothing too challenging, but definitely worth driving.
pain to get out of there. Seems like we're in a tent all day when we're inside this canvas.
It feels like it, yes.
It's like we never got out of the tent.
Wayne National Forest is the only national forest in Ohio. It includes a patchwork of over 250,000 acres of public land scattered throughout the southeastern Ohio Appalachian foothills. The National Forest allows dispersed motorized camping as long as your camping equipment doesn't impede any trails or block the road right of way. The forest also allows dispersed camping at many of the trailhead parking lots. The roads we'd driven in the National Forest had proved to be extremely easy, and other than these wild turkeys, we wondered if we were going to have any excitement at all today. And that's when we turned right.
Do you know your engine's steaming?
Yep.
This is Cedar Run. Looks like it's just an out and back. We passed a couple of places that look like campsites, but keep in mind they may not be legal here because it is Wayne National Forest, but it's Ohio and they have weird rules. And you're going to want me to get out for that one, I know. It looks like a double puddle. So Bill likes me to get out and get muddy and wet and cold for those.
Yeah, gotta do it for the views.
Have to do it for the views. You don't care that your wife's going to catch pneumonia today?
Oh, it's your turn. I filmed the last one, remember?
Yes,
It was
I know.
raining then, too.
Yes, I know you did.
area around Cedar Run is dotted with ATV trails, and some of these mud holes are a lot deeper and slicker than they look, as this guy must have found out when he hit this tree. Unfortunately, the people who ride these trails, they're not always particularly responsible. So in this area, you'll find a lot of trash lying around. When you're driving these trails, please be responsible and pick up after yourself. And it wouldn't hurt to pick up a little after the other people who've left stuff like this behind, so these trails can stay open. Not long after we left Cedar Run behind, we came across this little gem. It's a pure sheet of ice. Here we're looking at the area that we've been in this weekend. Yesterday we went up to this area, land between the ponds and Tunnel Hill. We drove those yesterday when it was sunny. We also drove this Iron Point. This is not a black trail. It had a little bit of rough down on this end, but that was about it. Nothing major. Today we've been driving, here we go. We stayed at Burr Oak. And then today we've been driving these trails. We drove Wildcat. We drove Cedar Run, which is definitely a blue trail. There's some significant mud holes on that and obstacles. Over here, no rock obstacles, just mud. And then it looks like we're going to try and come up and hit this one, Helmick Mill Covered Bridge on the way north. Does that sound like a plan to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't. Oh, I thought you were going forward. I was worried you were going to drive into that creek.
There's a bit of a crevice up there.
There's a massive crevice right there.
Another human. I've seen that all day.
I have to admit that I wasn't particularly excited about going out and going overlanding on this particular holiday weekend. Freezing cold, ice, snow, sopping wet, none of that sounded exciting to me. But then I have to remind myself, life isn't just about the sunny bits. It's about the rain, the hard, the challenges that make those sunny bits that much more enjoyable.
But the rooms are mine.
the Helmick Covered Bridge. You're obviously going to see a lot of graffiti down here, but the waterfall is really beautiful. It's worth the stop. So I would highly recommend making this little out-of-the-way jaunt to see this beautiful bridge and the waterfall. Unfortunately, like a lot of places we're finding in Ohio, there's trash everywhere. That's very disappointing. In this particular area, we've seen a lot of trash everywhere we're going. Please don't be that person. Make sure you pick up after yourself. Leave it better than you found it. It sounds cliche, but it's not. Pick something up, throw it in your trash bag when you leave, because if we all do that, hopefully these places will get cleaned up over time.
Thanks so much for joining us as we explored a little bit of the Wayne National Forest in the Appalachian foothills of Ohio. And I hope you've come to agree that there are some trails that are just better driven in the rain. So what's stopping you? Go on out and find your own rainy day adventure.